Girl, the reason why we always broke is not because we don't make enough money. We make enough income. We just do not know where it goes. And so by mid-month, we find ourselves going back to our creditors to borrow us money to survive. And this keeps us stuck in the cycle of living from hand to mouth. By the way, I'm Franca. I'm a professional teacher who is studying to become an accountant because I'm so obsessed with money. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the step-by-step guide that helped me break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and I hope it helps you too. First step is to get clarity. This is where we ask ourselves, who are our sources of income? How much in total do we bring in monthly, and where does that money go? And girl, get a diary for this one because this is where we do the deep work. This is where we list down our expenses, both fixed and variable, and all the possible places that we think our money could be going. Do you have any high interest debt that are draining your coffers, or you are unconsciously funding a lifestyle that is not serving you? And most often, these are things we don't notice until we sit down and hold ourselves accountable. Now, our aim of doing this is to figure out where our money really goes to and to see if it is possible to maintain majority of what we already make. Now that we're done with this, we go ahead and create a structure. Let's divide this structure into long-term planning, budgeting, and disbursement, which include savings, expenses, and payment of debts. When it comes to long-term planning, I need you to ask yourself, what are your top financial priorities right now? What do you want to achieve financially in the long term? And if my plan is to get out of debt and to stop living paycheck to paycheck, then it means that I'm going to focus on aggressively clearing off my debt in the next 3 months. And I'm not just going to try to focus on clearing off the debt. I'm going to also try to avoid new debt at all costs so I can focus on at least saving for the last 3 months of my 6-month long-term plan. That's for structure. Let's go to budgeting. You always need a budget because that's what's going to tell your money where it's supposed to go instead of impulsively allocating it to things that you don't even need. Now, with budgeting, let's go ahead and divide our expenses into fixed and variable. Our fixed expenses are those expenses that do not change from time to time, and the variable ones are the ones that normally change every single month. Aside putting the expenses into fixed and variable, you're going to go ahead and arrange all those expenses in order of importance and give priority to those that really matter first. This is to make sure that we are using the money for what really matters. And in that case, we'll be able to reserve more money towards clearing off the debts. Now, let's go to disbursement. And we're going to use the 10-40-50 rule. 10% for savings, 40% to clear off your debt, and 50% to fund your expenses. And you're going to be like, oh girl, I cannot survive on 50%. Girl, you will survive. You will make it. Because the goal is to aggressively clear off the debt. And once you're done clearing off the debt, we'll be able to live flexibly. And so for the meantime, I need you to finance your expenses with only 50% of your income. And your brain is so brilliant enough to figure out ways to help you survive. We need to really attack this aggressively because the goal is to break the cycle of living from hand to mouth at all costs. Now that we have a structure, we're going to go find more ways to bring in additional income. Because aside keeping more of what you already have, getting more money is going to help you do more. So is there a possibility that you could grow financially at your current workplace? Okay, if yes, then let's pursue that. If no, then can we take on some side hustles? Is there any service that you could provide to people after work that could bring you additional income? Can you lend your time to other people for money after work? And if that is not your thing, then do you have any product that you can sell? And if you don't have the product, then go become the middleman. Okay, get a product that you love that you know people are going to patronize, advertise it, and when people want to buy that product, you get the seller or the owner of the business to handle the shipping and you get your commission. And girl, forget about the shame of hustling, because you're already living from hand to mouth. Okay, maybe even as I speak, you are borrowing money from people who are laughing at you. So the shame of hustling cannot be compared to the shame of living from hand to mouth. Now, let's talk about walking in our lane. Girl, the very moment you decide to get yourself out of living from paycheck to paycheck, you stop behaving like everybody else. Girl, you are on a mission. So you no longer buy things just because other people are buying them. You no longer go to the places that other people are going if it is not in your budget. You no longer do things just for the sake of doing them. We always have to have the financial consequences of our actions at the back of our mind. The goal is to set yourself free, and so you're going to have to learn to walk in your lane. The truth is that not everybody living luxuriously is happy, okay? And so don't be fooled into thinking that you have to buy stuff and start living like other people in order to be happy. Because real happiness coming from having the things you need and knowing that you could handle emergencies when they arrive. And this takes me to point number 5, which is build an emergency fund. Girl, emergencies will not tell you when they're coming, they just arrive. And that is why you always have to prepare yourself for them when they come, yeah? And this is how you build an emergency fund. It is your 6-month living expenses put together and placed somewhere safe, preferably a high interest savings account, okay? And now that we are in the situation where we're already struggling to live, I would not tell you that you should go and just cram that money into, no. Do it step by step. Build it little by little. Even if it's just 5% of your income that you could put there, go do it. Set yourself up to handle emergencies with ease. It's all about giving yourself the chance to try, okay? At least start something for yourself. Even if you have to reprogram your mind, do it. And that is why I created this video where I share with you mindset shifts that could help you build wealth in the long run.